first thing for overconfidence, there is an element of competence to this though, I would say. So if you were to look at me talk about something on social media versus 10 other personal trainers, I would probably come across more overconfident than the others, but that would come from the competence of the amount of repetition I've done making the content. The same way that some salespeople, whether it be a secondhand car salesman or a door-to-door gas and electric salesman, they seem so perfect with their approach. It's not so much their confidence in the product, but the amount of times they've knocked on doors or sold cars. So overconfidence most probably stems a fraction from narcissism and maybe some bad sociopathic traits where someone does American Psycho. But the rest of the time, I do think there is a trail of breadcrumbs from competence in repetition. So the more times you practice, they say the more you practice, the luckier you get. But I would say as well, to that, society will reward someone, because if a guy comes up to a girl in the bar, not one stutter in his, hey, I think you're beautiful, I'd love to take you out for dinner, look pretty chilled, I'm going to give you a number. By the way, if you have got a boyfriend, no need to lie or tell me about it, just never text me back. Cool. Have a good night, enjoy it. Versus a guy, hi, I never usually, my number, here you go. The guy who's confident probably has done it more times. There probably is an element of competence to it. The woman, and in most business sense, the person that is most confident is probably going to get the sale or probably going to get the message back. I think that confidence can sometimes masquerade competence behind it. And I think that often we do want competence with a partner. Every single partnership, whether it's business, financial, sexual, you do want some level of competence to whether it is personal finances, sexual performance, whatever it is. We are actually all looking for competence from someone. Maybe even, this sounds probably rather, patriarchal tyranny. When men are choosing a woman, we want there to be some kind of competence in maybe child raising and looking after the house. And that's because I'm from more of a traditional upbringing. We are almost subconsciously sensing competence in all the people we meet, whether it be romantic, professional. You want competence. So I think that people that maybe have this facade or allure of overconfidence are actually the ones that are most competent in most cases.
Confidence is a barbell strategy as well, which is brilliant. When was but what I think really interesting about the book is you can lean on competence and confidence as sort of like a barbell strategy, but what you say is in terms of life, you can be really fucking confident in one area, but then a shit show in the other. Tiger Woods, right? Fucking confident at golf, right? His like in personal affairs isn't a fucking, not saying he's not, that's maybe not confidence, but it's a bit of a fucking shit show when he's not on the golf course. I did
a TED talk, fine. Still used Hinge as a dating app because I wasn't confident enough to prospect, or there were so many elements I didn't want to get rejected after all the rejections on the gym floor. I actually got banned from Hinge twice for being me. So I'd go on Instagram, someone would go, hey, I just saw someone pretending to be you on Hinge, I've reported them, it was me. So then
jokes.
It's fucked. I got cock blocked by my following. So I was fucking awful, mate. It was so shit. That's like my claim to fame. Hinge blocked me.
Yeah.
And then the second time I went on, I couldn't get matches. But it's probably good for I'm now in a relationship. Maybe it had something to do with that.
What have been if someone is feeling unconfident in one area of their life, what is the ways to bring that up?
Action's always the way out of everything. And my friend George, when I moved to Australia, he deleted my dating apps on my phone. And he literally was like, no, you're going to start talking to girls. And I'd be in a cafe with him. He'd be like, go on. I'd be like, oh, yeah. He's like, go on. And I'd get my number, put it on a bit of paper, I'd give it to him. And I remember every time I came back, this is one of the great things. I probably learned this from him. When I came back from giving a girl my number, he would always joke and go, good dog. He was like an English guy from southwest London. Every time, good dog. And when I got back and sat down, he was rewarding me for the effort, not the outcome. She hadn't messaged me. She hadn't gone on a date with me. She hadn't anything. She'd just taken a bit of paper from a stranger. But he recognized to me, he goes, good. That was the thing you didn't want to do. Well done, because you've done it. You're successful now. Whether you get a text or not is irrelevant. You've done the thing you were scared of. And I think that's where the kind of setting success metrics is so important in everyday life.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped Islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.